All right, so here's our wall hanging plant basket, the back part of it, where I'm at so far, how I got here. You guys should be at this pretty close to this point from your previous videos. How I got one of the few times you will get to use a possible power machine is the table saw to help me get this straight side, okay? And how I got this side, I ran it over there. I set the table saw like not even 1/4 of an inch and ran it over there. Now all this, how smooth I got it, right here behind me in our closet with all the sandpaper, the old sandpaper that we got hanging right there. You're going to be probably grabbing, I would suggest like the 80 grit first. And you're just gonna get on here and just gonna go to town sanding this thing all by hand. It's going down this, sand this nice and easy. If you put this board down and you have a lot of wobble in it when doing this, come see me. We might be able to run it across the jointer. I don't know if we can because we're really, the way this is designed, you'd be going across, we would be running the jointer across the grain, and that's not ideal. If your board's really, really bad, you might have to look to hand plane it. Again, it has a lot of wobble when you do this. And mine has a tiny bit, not much, not nothing I'm going to be worrying about, okay? We can't have a lot because this piece here is the piece that's gonna go up onto the wall and hang. We're still gotta build the basket part, which we'll build later. But now we're to the point of getting our edges straight, nice straight edges, sanding this down, so you want this nice and smooth, okay? Right now I'm going with the grain. My grain is running this way, so I'm going with the grain. So I want a nice smooth finish, okay? Gonna keep working this, flipping it over, working it. Especially if you have any sand or glue marks, you want to get those off, but as you can see, mine is nice and smooth. I've been spending some time on this. I'll show you how I got the board cut. I put it on here, I set my, as you can see how I set that saw, you can almost not even see the gap between the saw blade and the actual fence. It's almost impossible to see here. But there's an itty bitty gap right there. Real small gap, okay? Put it up on there so you guys can see that. What I did is I took my board, I put it on there with a push stick, okay? And I just pushed that through. The little piece that was on this side definitely came flying, so watch out for that. There's really no way to stop it because it's so small. I pushed it through, cut it, okay? I flipped it around like this, and I did the same thing, and I cut it. But I want to take off as little as possible. And ideally, when you're lining all your little pieces up, you want to make sure that they're as straight as can be. So you have the straightest line you can have there, and the straightest line that you can have on each side. You want to make sure you're nice and straight on each side as much as possible. If you have a whole bunch hanging over pretty bad, I'll probably make you use the handsaw to cut them off, okay? If it's pretty even to where you're just taking hardly anything out, you'll come talk to me and I'll decide whether you can use the table saw for it or not, okay? Other than that, when you're to this point, so after it has been glued together, we need to do a lot of sanding and get our two cut lines so we have a nice straight board going. And then we'll talk about the corners on the next video.